All right, guys, this is the moment you've been waiting for, the announcement of the first batch of ScentFest exhibitors that you're going to be able to meet at ScentFest SF, which is happening in June 26, 27, 28, right after the World Perfumery Congress, which takes place in Monterey. Those dates are the 23rd, 24th, and 25th of June, and coinciding with the Business of Beauty Global Forum, which is in Napa Valley on June 24, 25, and 26. So our show is 26, 27, and 28. I'm excited to tell you who's appearing at the show, but I do want to let you guys know two of the brands are confirmed to be at our show from our latest ScentClub Kit. And the latest ScentClub Kit has dropped. We announced it over the weekend. And the three fragrances that we have in the kit are these right here. We've got Light of Bangkok from Dusita, Perfumes Dusita. They will be present, or she will be present at our show. So if you've ever wanted to meet Pisara of Perfumes Dusita, now's your chance. We've got Pesade's Orris Cocoon. I'm not 100% sure if they're coming. I'm hoping they will come. I will keep you guys posted. But that is another fragrance in the latest kit. It is Orris Cocoon from Pesade. And last but not least, we have Festival. I'm losing track of the photo. Festival is the third fragrance. That is from a new house called NVRNAGN. They will be present and exhibiting with all of their fragrances at our show. And hopefully they might present some works in progress. Same thing with Dusita. So these are in our latest kit. You should definitely check them out. The Dusita fragrance is an exclusive fragrance created for the hotel in Bangkok called Mandarin Oriental. So this is the fragrance that's, I think they've scented the lobby with it, and you can buy the scent. So that's kind of a cool thing to have an exclusive fragrance, because you can't get this anywhere except for the Mandarin Oriental in Bangkok and also the Dusita website. So you can only buy it off of two places, and it's not something you can physically go to any stores that carry Dusita's fragrances. So that is the first fragrance in the kit. So that is selling right now, and I'm so happy that Dusita is coming to the show. So we've got the Orris Cocoon. Now this one I fell in love with on first sniff at Petit Fragranza. It's a very ethereal take on Orris or Iris. It's powdery, it's airy, but there's also tea. So it's got that kind of coziness, soothing vibe. It's fresh, it's aromatic, it's woody and spicy. But if you're a lover of Orris or Iris, you have to get your nose on Orris Cocoon. So that is the second fragrance in the kit, and we're hoping they will exhibit at our show, ScentFest SF. I'll keep you guys posted, maybe on the second or third announcement of brands. And of course, as I said, NVRNAGN is also exhibiting. So they launched with 5 or 6 fragrances. I keep losing track of counts of fragrances from brands, so I apologize. But I know I fell in love with Lacquerly, which we featured in a mystery box last December. And now we have Festival in our latest kit. Festival, to me, is earthy, woody, powdery, dry, and a very unique concoction. I think it's the edgiest of the 3 fragrances in the kit. But if you like earthy, but what I say with this one, even though the bottle is black and it has that kind of purplish touch, when I wear it, I get gray, I get fog, I get gloomy kind of day. So I also envision concrete, things like this from this fragrance. So very unique fragrance. These are the 3 fragrances in the kit. And as I said, from our kit, we have Dusita exhibiting, and we also have NVRNAGN exhibiting, and we're working on Pesade. So hopefully they will come too. So the 3 fragrances, 3 brands will be exhibiting. So here's the list of brands. So I'm not going to talk much about the brands today in this video, but I'll mention some details about the brands as much as I can, because there are some brands I've never smelled and things like that, so I don't know much about them, but they are exhibiting. So first off, I'm reading this in alphabetical order, then I will get to some additional things I will mention about a group of other brands. So we've got Acqua del Elba. So Acqua del Elba, I've discussed on the channel quite a bit. They just started selling in the States. They have an online store in the States. And in fact, I visited Acqua del Elba, and there are some videos that will launch from the brand very soon. And they have their latest 3 fragrances. 2 of the 3 we featured in recent mystery boxes. So they're exhibiting at our show. We've got Agato, another Italian house. They're exhibiting at our show as well. We did feature one of their fragrances in our latest mystery box. And I'm excited they will come. They'll have a nice large booth and present, and they will bring their beautiful, most beautiful bottles to display. We've got Aloe, or the Aloe Studio. This is a brand new house for me, so I don't know them very well, but they will be here exhibiting, and they'll bring their fragrances for you guys to discover. We've got Angelo's Creations Olfactives. He will be present here. He's got a nice collection of indie artisanal fragrances, somewhat edgy, vintage-esque. I've featured his fragrances countless times in my kits, and also in mystery boxes and kits. So I'm excited he's coming all the way from Greece. We've got Blend Oud. Blend Oud apparently has gotten rebranded, and so they are launching at our show. I've discovered Blend Oud in its previous format, but also I don't have too much experience with the brand. I've actually was in Italy. I visit quite often. This was pre-pandemic. I was in Portofino, and that's where I discovered the brand, in a perfume shop in Portofino, but I haven't discovered them since then. So I'm looking forward to checking them out at the show. Now we've got Blender Graphy coming. As you guys know, I am a big fan of Vanilla Mudslide. I'm so excited he's coming. He's bringing the collection of fragrances that are cocktail inspired, Vanilla Mudslide being my favorite. I also love Jasmine Martini. The Amber Negroni is great. The Patchouli Mojito. So he's bringing the entire collection. I'm hoping he's also going to bring some new fragrances that he's adding to the collection. Those of you that have been wanting a bottle of Vanilla Mudslide, get your tickets now. I should mention we have still early bird registration for attendees. So if you're on the fence, book your tickets now, because you're going to hear a great list of brands that will be exhibiting, and you're going to want to come and discover all of their fragrances, because this is a great way to discover brands and, buy the fragrances, because this is a B2C show mostly. And so you'll fall in love with fragrances, and you'll be able to buy the fragrances. Kind of like a mini pop-up for each of the brands, but in one, consumer-focused fragrance fair. All right, so Blender Graphy, excited for them. They will be exhibiting at ScentFest SF. Now, Chris Collins will be here. I haven't spoken much about Chris Collins' fragrances, but hopefully I will change that very soon. I actually was one of the first to talk about his fragrances when he first launched, going back several years. So he's coming. He's going to be exhibiting at the show, and you'll want to come and discover Chris Collins' fragrances. He's got some great collection of fragrances. I don't know if the earlier collection is still selling, but you can search the channel, and I have his very first, I think, 3 fragrances on the channel that I've spoken about. So we have Coco de Mer fragrances also exhibiting, and I'm unfamiliar with the brand. So it's going to be a great way for me to discover these fragrances. Again, some of these brands I'm not familiar with, and I'm excited for them to come, and I'll walk through the show and discover some brands I'm not too familiar with. So I'm excited to discover the Coco de Mer fragrances at our show, ScentFest SF. So this is an exciting one. Costume National will be here with their fragrances. Awesome stuff. I love Costume National fragrances, and they're coming. They're coming to ScentFest SF. So Costume National was pretty big. They had fashion, and I don't know if they make fashion anymore. I think they strictly, well, the brand is bringing only their fragrances, obviously. But at one time, I think they did a lot of fashion, because Barney's here, which is no longer sold their fashion, also their fragrances. So I think the fragrances are still running, and you'll be able to discover some of their older fragrances and perhaps a lot of their newer fragrances, because they don't have much distribution here in the way of, you know, their brand selling. So I'm hoping that they'll be able to find a retailer or distribution here so that the brand can sell again in the States. Because I really love Costume National fragrances. And some of their newer stuff is really great, but nobody sells them. So you have to figure out a way to buy them from somewhere else. All right, we have Elysian Parfum. I'm not too familiar with Elysian Parfum, unfortunately, but they are exhibiting. And for me, I do have a list of brands I'm going to have to, you know, stop at and discover, because I'm all about discovering new fragrances, new brands, so I can report it on the channel. Most of these brands I do know, a lot of them I don't know. Most of them I know. So I can't wait to discover them myself, and hopefully you guys will come and check out some of these brands that you haven't heard about as well. So ScentFest SF is a 3-day show happening on Friday, June 26th, Saturday, June 27th, Sunday, June 28th. So there's going to be some great stuff happening in the city. Again, WPC ends on the 25th. Our show, ScentFest SF, starts on the 26th. But WPC is in Monterey, which is about 2 hours south. And the Business of Beauty Global Forum is taking place in Napa Valley. Their dates are the 24th, 25, and 26th. So the 26th, it coincides with their event. So ours will start, theirs will end on the 26th, and then, you know, the rest. So hopefully you guys will come. And again, as I said, there's early bird attendee tickets still selling. All right, let's move on to, I already mentioned Elysian Parfum. Again, I don't know them very well. They'll be here, and I'll want to discover their fragrances here as well. So the next brand is Free Yourself. And Free Yourself has been everywhere lately. I discovered them 2 years ago, approximately, and I have, let's see, I've seen them at Scent Explore, at Beauty World in Beauty World Middle East in Dubai. I saw them at Essence last year. I just saw them at Paris Perfume Week. I know they did a couple of other shows, and so they'll be at ScentFest SF as well. And if you haven't discovered this brand, it's a great way for you to discover. Now, there's going to be a lot of fragrances these brands are bringing. So if they have 5, most likely they'll bring 5. So you'll be able to smell and check out and learn all about the fragrances. So Free Yourself will be here. Now, House of Dastan will be here as well. And I do have to say, they are connected to Blend Oud. So they're bringing 2 brands. And I'm completely unfamiliar with House of Dastan, except I did smell one of their fragrances I really loved. It did have that Dior Homme Parfum, Dior Homme Intense DNA, which I'm a big fan of. So I look for anything that smells like this kind of irisy, warm, sweet, vanilla kind of a musky concoction. So I'm looking forward to discovering their bottles. I've sampled some of their fragrances from samples. And again, 1 or 2 of them stood out a lot for me. So I can't wait to check them out in person and see what the brand is all about. So we have House of Ira coming. And I actually met her, Samira, at Paris Perfume Week last month. And I sampled some of their fragrances, so they'll be here as well. And even though I did a quick sample, because I was there all 3 days, but it was a very busy show. And I'd like to check out the fragrances a bit more and, you know, study them and learn about them. Sometimes you're passing through and you smell something, it stands out, but you kind of want to come back to it and see how it is. And that's how I feel about House of Ira. And I'm looking forward to learning about the brand further. But this brand will be here at ScentFest SF, and you'll be able to meet Samira and discover their fragrances as well. House of Sacred Scents. I'm not very familiar with this house. I think it's an all-natural house. So it's a great way to discover some brands you might not be familiar with. And I'm curious about the house. I think she's planning on doing something a little different with her booth. And I think she might have some presentations happening at her booth. So you might want to go and check in with her once she's at the show, or if you're in communication with the brand, you can check in with the brand and find out. But all I know is they are all natural scents, and I'm very curious to learn more about them. So next we've got Hunk. Hunk is also coming, and as I already mentioned, Blendergraphy. It's a sister house to Blendergraphy. So the founder will bring both Blendergraphy and Hunk to the show. And Hunk is a bit, I think Blendergraphy has the winner, Vanilla Mudslide, but Hunk, the one I like from the Hunk is not the more mass appealing fragrance. I kind of like, was it Boxer? No, I like Mechanic. Boxer had that kind of a bloody effect because it's a boxer, and the fragrances are inspired by male archetypes. So Hunk is a bit more edgy, I think, compared to Blendergraphy. But Mechanic I find really awesome if you like greasy, oily fragrances, which I generally do not, but that one stands out to me. But there's also Barman, The Gardener. Those are also pretty decent. So Hunk will be here with Blendergraphy, and you can, learn about the fragrances and smell them. So next we've got Gigide. Now this is a fairly new brand. I need to learn about the brand further. I met them at Notes Shanghai in October. Also saw them in Paris Perfume Week just recently. And actually met the brand at Pitti, but they weren't exhibiting there. I just met the brand owners. So I'm looking forward to them coming. And I definitely want to learn about the brand further and study them and see what's great. Because they do have a cult following, and it's always worth discovering new fragrances and learning about new brands. And I've been hearing quite a few great things about that brand from people I know in the community. Now, Juicebox is coming. Juicebox will be exhibiting along with their sister house, Costume National. So you guys know I collaborated on a fragrance with them called 54. They're launching a new fragrance it's called Wave of Freedom, and it's inspired by the Beach Boys. So Beach Boys, California, so they are here. And you get to learn about their fragrances. You can smell 54 if you haven't yet. You can check out Carioca Heart, and they have a lot of great fragrances, a lot with Julianne Rascanet, and they've also got fragrances with Dominique Ropion, and I think their new one is, gosh, I forgot his name, Bruno Jovanovic, I think that's who did the new one. So yeah, they'll be here, and then they'll be presenting with Costume National, so it's a great way for you to discover Costume National scents and also the Juicebox fragrances, and check out Wave of Freedom, which is their latest release. This is a music-inspired brand, if you don't know, and the fragrance we collaborated on is inspired by the nightclub Studio 54, but the latest one is a Beach Boys-inspired fragrance. So there is a new brand called Kosui. Kosui will be exhibiting. I'm very unfamiliar with the brand, but they are from San Francisco, so they're definitely here and launching or presenting their brand of Japanese-inspired brand. It's a Japanese-inspired brand. So I'm curious to check out the fragrances as I don't know them very well. And they'll be at the show and you can discover this new brand. I mean, it's always great to discover new fragrance houses. So this is one that I'm curious to check out. Now we've got Le Persona. Are you guys familiar with Le Persona? So I've discovered the brand a couple times at various shows, and they have that popular fragrance, Whispering Kiss. So the brand will be here presenting their collection of fragrances, and they're from South Korea. And Whispering Kiss, I think if you haven't sampled it, you definitely need to get your nose on it. It's definitely a very popular offering from the house. It's also very unique that it's got these sweet, salty kind of sides to it. Not quite gourmand, but kind of going there, but very unique and addicting kind of smell that I like. I think it uses a red bean paste as a note. And so if you haven't tried it, you're going to want to come and check out Whispering Kiss and some of their other fragrances from their collection. So they'll be here. I'm excited they're coming. Then we've got Lorenzo Pizzalia, a huge hyped brand. So Lorenzo Pizzalia will be here with their super intense fragrances. And they've got a lot of hyped fragrances, very long-lasting fragrances, super sticky, intense ambery fragrances, fruity fragrances, and things like that. So if you've been wanting to meet up with the brand Lorenzo Vezzaglia, now's your chance here on the West Coast in San Francisco during ScentFest. What is your favorite Lorenzo Vezzaglia fragrance? Let us know. Let us know if any of the brands that I've mentioned so far you like and you are interested in meeting. What are your favorite fragrances from the houses? Let me know. Add a comment below. Now, this next one, I'm very excited that they're coming. It's LT Piver. LT Piver is a very classic fragrance house. They have rebranded, relaunched, and they made a debut at Printemps USA, Printemps New York. So it's a French department store from Paris that has opened up a location in New York City, and the fragrances are selling there. They're also at various other stores. But they've redone a lot of their classic fragrances and modernized them into eau de parfum concentration because they used to be in eau de cologne. I've been a big fan of the house, and I'm so excited they're coming and presenting their fragrances. Stay tuned for a video I shot with one of the associates. I went to their office in Paris while I was there last month, and their office is overlooking the building that houses Macron, like where he does his thing. So the view is to the entrance. So stay tuned for that video. You'll see all the people coming and going, all the guards and policemen and things like that, along with other people. But it's a long video going over the entire collection that's been relaunched, and there's historic artifacts and things like that we go over, and of course we smell all the fragrances that are launched. So excited for LT Piver. We've got Mangla, M-A-N-G-L-A. It's a Chinese brand, and I'm not familiar with Mangla, or maybe I am and I can't remember, because I do get to sample a lot of fragrances, but I don't recall sampling these fragrances. So they're coming and exhibiting at our show. There's also Nisaba. Nisaba is a Swiss-French house, works with Firmenich and DSM Firmenich. The perfumers create their fragrances. I actually have spoken about the brand. I did some videos with the founder last year. They had invited me to the lavender fields, the lavender harvest. Great experience. There are some videos on the channel with a couple of them, actually. There's one with Alexandra Monet, who's created one of their fragrances. There's one with the founder. And then there's also a woman that we met during that time who is part of the farming and process of lavender and also other aromatic ingredients. So if you're curious to learn more about the brand Nisaba, check it out. Learn about them by searching on the channel. And yeah, they'll be here presenting their fragrances. So as I said earlier, NVRNAGN will be present at the show. So they're exhibiting here. I can't remember if they've already exhibited somewhere else. I think they did, but this will be, I think maybe this is their debut in the USA. I can't remember if they did another show. But yeah, they'll be presenting their fragrances. My two favorites are Festival, which is a bit more daring. And then, of course, Lacquerly, which is a gourmand. It's also sweet, spicy, salty kind of a gourmand. Those are my two favorites. There might be one or two more, but they'll be presenting all of their fragrances. And their fragrances are created by Andreas Wilhelm. So we have Parfums de Nicolai coming. I'm excited to be able to get the brand to come to our show. They're one of the earliest niche houses, dating back to the 80s. I think they launched in 89. For some reason, I say 88, but I believe they launched in 89. And they're coming, they're presenting some of their newer fragrances. And actually, I shot a video with the daughter of Patricia de Nicolai, who's taken on the business, and that will air soon, going over some of their fragrances and things like that, and also mentioning that they'll be present here. So stay tuned for that video, and stay tuned for the LT Piver video as well. And really excited that Parfums de Nicolai is coming. You know, their fragrances, their most popular fragrances, I guess in the USA it's Fig Tea. So they just launched Fig Tea Intense, but you know, but the Patchouli Intense is great, New York Intense is great. So hopefully they'll bring all of those brands for us to check out. So Sarah Baker Perfumes will be here. Sarah Baker is got a indie niche house, and then she launched or had a pretty great success with the Peach trilogy, Peach's Revenge, and then she just is in the process of doing a trilogy of vanilla fragrances. We've got Velvet Vendetta, and we've got Vava Vanilla. Vava Vanilla is in a ScentClub Kit, by the way, our 18. So if you haven't been able to check it out, please do. But Sarah Baker will be here herself, and she's presenting her fragrances at our show. And if you've never met her, you're going to want to come and check out her fragrances. There's some really great ones. I also really love Ludo, Symmetry, and that's also like an oud trilogy. The gold one, those are all great fragrances, like her recent fragrances. Actually, I also really like the recent one she did with Miguel Matos, the earthy one, Prism Head. So yeah, you'll be able to discover and check out those fragrances. We have Scent Trunk, the Perfumer's Apprentice, exhibiting also. If you don't know Perfumer's Apprentice, they are based out of Santa Cruz, and they have raw materials you can buy as a perfumer. You can use their business to buy. And I think Scent Trunk is also connected to Perfumer's Apprentice. They do very indie artisanal perfumers fragrances. So the both of the brands will be presenting together. And I've actually used Perfumer's Apprentice. I was working on a project once. We had them do ingredients and things like that. And we've actually featured Scent Trunk in one of our mystery boxes. So they'll be here. We've got Sora Dora coming. Sora Dora is also great. I'm excited to have Sora Dora. I love Sora Dora's fragrances. And actually, I think their last fragrance, the one that was with benzoin, I don't think it was received very well, but I really liked it. It was a dark, resinous, ambery fragrance. But apparently they have a new fragrance launching, and they'll present it at our show along with their other fragrances. So I'm really excited Sora Dora is coming. I really love the brand, and I like the perfumers they work with. I really love the Flair team, which Sarah Baker is also using Margot from Flair for her vanilla fragrances, and Sora Dora also uses the Flair team of perfumers for their fragrances. And also Blender Graphy uses Flair as well. So there's a reason why I really like these fragrances. So Sora Dora, exciting, they're coming. We've got Swirl Works coming as well. And I'm not too familiar. They make custom on the spot fragrances. It's more like a workshop setting, and they'll be presenting their setup here at the show, and you'll be able to sit and make a fragrance with them. So we're ironing out the details for that, but they will be here. It's a more of a local brand company from the South Bay, I think the Peninsula, but I'm excited that they're coming and will be here at the show. So we have Thomas DeMonico coming. Thomas DeMonico, Raw Gold, although he did launch a new fragrance, he'll be presenting all of the fragrances at ScentFest SF, I should say. So if you've been wanting to meet Thomas and discover his fragrances, now's your chance. Come over and sample and, buy some of the fragrances, because there's some really, really great ones. Raw Gold is still a favorite. Sol Solgado is a great favorite as well. And I haven't sampled or tested out the newest one created by Corinne Chevalier as much as I'd like to, because I've been really focused on the show. I will get on that soon. But the 3 fragrances he did last year with the young perfumers are also really great. So I have videos on the channel for Thomas DeMonico, search, and you'll find out. We have a brand called Wren, W-R-E-N, Atelier, that's coming. And I'm not familiar with the brand myself. So for me, I'm excited to discover the brand and the fragrances. So they'll be present at ScentFest SF. And this one just came on the scene. Xerjoff will be present at our show. Not necessarily, more of like an immersive experience, an experiential kind of an experience rather than like an exhibitor. But expect to find Xerjoff at our show as well. So that's the main list of brands. We have other brands that will be present. I should say one of our sponsors is bringing 8 brands, and a representative from each of the brands will be here. We've got BDK. Yes, there will be a display of BDK fragrances, and a representative from BDK in France will be present. I already mentioned Parfums Dusita, but Parfums Dusita is with a distributor. Quintessence is the distributor, and they will also be present as I said, Dusita, Pisara will be here. We've got the brand THOO2. They will be present as well. These are the beautiful ornate bottles that come in various designs. So somebody from the brand will be present, and we've created this really nice booth for them where you can go around and discover all of the fragrances from the house, kind of like 8 different brands together. So we've got Atelier d'Azur. I've spoken a lot about Atelier d'Azur. I believe Jean-Philippe Clermont, founder of the brand, will be present at our show. And if you don't know Atelier d'Azur, you're going to want to come and discover the fragrances of the brand. They've got some great fragrances. A big fan since 10 years ago. Electimus London will be here with Quintessence. And I've spoken about Electimus London as well. There's quite a few fragrances from the house. Although I haven't kept up with the newer fragrances, but the brand will be present, and hopefully they'll bring some of their more popular offerings. The Harmonist will be here. The Harmonist is a brand I've spoken quite a bit about. They used to have an LA store. I think they also had a Paris store. I'm not sure if those stores exist. But lately, they've launched a great Oud and the Flora Nebulae. Both of those are really, really great in the orange-looking bottles. So they'll be here, and you're going to want to check out those fragrances. Also, Goldfield and Banks will be here with Quintessence. And so somebody from each of these brands will be present. So they're not exhibiting individually. They're part of this big group. But you'll be able to talk to a rep from each of the brands and discover their fragrances. There's one more brand that's coming from Quintessence. I don't know who it is yet, and we'll, as soon as we find out, we'll definitely post it on the website. So this one's a pretty big one. We've got Kayali coming to the show. So Kayali is a huge brand on Instagram. Of course, they make some of the best gourmand fragrances, and I think Kayali will be coming with DSM Firmenich, and DSM Firmenich Kayali uses DSM Firmenich perfumers and raw materials. So this stuff is really exciting for me to be able to have Kayali present, and I think Mona will be present herself. So if you are a fan and you've wanted to meet, you're definitely going to want to come and get your tickets right away. The early bird pricing will lift next week. And if you've been wanting to, discover Kayali, meet with the people behind the brand, meet with Mona from Kayali, and also the folks that create their fragrances, this is your chance. I'm very, very excited for this, and looking forward to having them here. So excited for Kayali to be present, and I'm sure you guys are as well. We have Granado Brazil coming. They will also have a nice booth along with Kayali. Granado Brazil is a brand that I discovered for the first time in Paris, actually. There's a store right off, not on the Rue Saint-Honoré, but a side street from the Rue Saint-Honoré. I visit that store because it's become Perfume Street. But this was just after the pandemic in 22. I was there. I was walking on the Rue Saint-Honoré. It started raining, so I kind of was walking, and then I ducked into the Granado Brazil store. There I discovered their fragrances. They've gotten bigger and bigger. I think they have a presence on the East Coast in New York City, and this is probably their very first presence on the West Coast. And their stores are the most beautiful, including their booths as well. At some of the shows I've attended, they make some of the best booths. So all very lush green vegetation kind of a look, and a great presentation for their fragrances. There's some fragrances that they have that I really, really love. So I'm so excited that they're coming, and we're going to have a preview of their fragrances. And from what I hear, they have a nice fruity fragrance they're launching. So we'll find out from them when they're here, when you guys are here. So Javoy is also going to be here. Javoy, Jeroboam and Javoy will be presenting their fragrances, and the founder, Francois, will be here as well. And I've been a big fan of Javoy fragrances for the longest time. Psychedelique, Incident Diplomatique, Private Label, Remember Me. Those are my favorite fragrances from the house. And from Jeroboam, I really love the latest, the Kunamo. It's the pear, the musky, juicy pear. Really love that one. And of course, Insolo is a favorite. So if you've been wanting to discover these houses, you're going to want to come. I've already mentioned Xerjoff, and Xerjoff will be coming somehow, and Nishane will also be coming somehow. So really excited about Nishane. Nishane's present at our show. So that's the last brand I'm talking about. There will be more to report in the coming weeks, and we'll probably do another video like this, but all of these brands will be updated on our website soon. Right now we're gathering logos, and but you can refer back to this video. But the last, not brand, but the last thing I want to mention that's going to be present at our show is the Osmothèque. So the Osmothèque is an institution in France. They are based out of Versailles, and they're like a preservation society for fragrance formulas. So they're coming. I've invited them. They're a nonprofit organization. This is going to be one of their very first shows in the United States. They are bringing 25 fragrances that are either lost or discontinued, or original formulas of existing fragrances. So if you guys are into history, fragrance history, this is the, I guess, the experience you're gonna want to take part in. So we have designated a separate room for them, and you'll be able to go in, and there's these columns with the original perfumes in there. You can read about the fragrances and then smell them. There's even a fragrance dating back to the Egyptian times. So these are like recreations of the formulas that were found or were gifted to the organization, Osmothèque. So there will be 2 agents from the organization. And again, I'm so grateful I was able to get them, because I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And they've been quite busy. They've been doing a lot of fairs. And when I learned about doing this show last summer, well, it was just an idea last summer, and I've known the people behind Osmothèque. I've met them many times at various shows I attended, and so last October, when I was in Notes Shanghai, they had done the most amazing presentation for old, forgotten, and discontinued fragrances. So at that time, I said, I'm thinking about doing the show. Will you guys be available? They agreed. But since then, they've gotten extremely busy. But since my trip to France, I was able to talk them into it, and they're going to be here. So I'm very, very grateful they're coming. And I'm excited to share this really awesome organization with you guys. Again, they are a nonprofit. So if you guys are into donating, please go to the Osmothèque and donate. But again, you'll be able to smell fragrances that people wore back in the old days. So recreations of these old formulas. So that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you're excited. I hope you guys will come and experience this awesome show. There will be more brands that we're going to mention in the future. So this is not the entire list. We're still working on gathering more brands and houses, but this is a great start, I think. So again, as I said, these names will go up on the website very soon, but get your tickets right away. Get them right away, because the price will be going up very soon. We have until next week, and I hope to see you guys at ScentFest SF. If you have any questions or comments, please let us know. Add a comment in the info box, and I hope to see you here in San Francisco. But also, don't forget to take advantage of the latest kit. 2 of the brands in the kit are confirmed to be present at our show. One of the fragrances you can't get anywhere except for the Mandarin Oriental in Bangkok or the Dusita website. So it's a great way to sample something that's not easy to get. Anyway, thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. If you have any questions or comments, please like the video, please share it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.